But going back to this, if you're not optimizing yourself, if you're not going out there and getting sunlight for your body, if you're not eating healthy, organic, high proteins, grass-fed, getting your exercise, like, how do you suppose you're going to build $1 million company, a $2 million company, a $5, $10, $100 million company, right? And oftentimes I'll hear from people, well, listen, once I have $1 million or $5 million, then I'll start building this routine. Dude, you got to be that CEO before you have the money. Do you understand that? If you think that you are going to first make the money and then become that CEO, it doesn't work that way. You must first create the habits, the routines, the lifestyle to optimize your mind, your body, your routine, have a great team, your environment, so that you can make the $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, $50 million, right? That's how it works. And so I share this with you guys because if you are not optimizing yourself, if you're not seeing yourself as an athlete, if you're just seeing yourself as a spectator, right? Then what you do is you end up abusing your body. What you do is you end up eating hamburgers, you end up going to Starbucks and getting super caffeinated, having a whole bunch of sugar. You're probably spiking your insulin, and now you're having this low energy and feel like you need to fall asleep at 2 p.m, and you can't figure out what's going on. So you take more stimulants, and now you can't sleep at night, and you're feeling anxiety and depression. And you're like, I don't understand why I'm anxious and depressed and I can't sleep at night. Well, because you probably didn't work out in the morning. You probably didn't eat right throughout the day. You had too much sugar, too much stimulants, too much bread, too much gluten, too much of all the shit that's poisoning you, if you really want to know the truth, right? Because that's what the big food conglomerates do today. They find the cheapest ingredients, the most overly processed stuff to sell you that you will eat because it tastes good, and then it begins to dull your senses. It begins to take away your focus. It begins to slow you down. That is not an optimized human. And so understand that the highest performers on the planet, doesn't matter if they're on the battlefield, the business field, or the athletic field, they are optimized in mind, body, routine, their team, their environment. So let's talk about your environment. What are you doing right now to make sure that you have an environment that is conducive to getting the most amount of work done towards your biggest goals and dreams in life? Right? Because if your environment is chaotic, it's unpredictable, you got loud people, you got smelly people, you got people that aren't necessarily rooting for you, you better find a way. You better find a way to leave. Like when I had roommates who all they wanted to do was party back in the day when I was single, and I knew that I was mission focused, I would take my big giant Toshiba laptop and I would go to a shitty little cafe somewhere that's like I can have peace and quiet, and I'd get as much work done as possible in that environment. If I couldn't build the environment, I would go find the environment that I could get the most amount of productive and efficient work done, because I knew that every day counts. Every hour counts. And so it is massively important for you to understand to optimize yourself like a human. You know, in my book, Man Up, I talk about the fighter jet and the crop duster, right? And the fighter jet is someone who is high speed. They set high standards for themselves. They are disciplined. They are focused. They make a promise and they keep a promise to themselves. They're constantly GSDing, getting shit done. And then I talk about the crop duster. The crop duster hits the snooze button. They always put things off. They procrastinate. They're the over planners, but not the executors. The crop duster is the one who surrounds themselves with negative people, feeds themselves with poisonous food, and then wonder why they are not feeling healthy and happy, and instead feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, suffering in silence. And so I'm here to tell you, if you are that person, you can do something about it by immediately taking control. Like, how do I end every show? What do I tell you? I say average is the enemy. Being average is the enemy, don't I? Success is your responsibility. And change can take place in an instant when you decide to flip the switch. Don't I say that? And if you want to flip the switch, it must be a very forefront thought that is so powerful that nothing else can outweigh it. Like, it has to be that intentional. That what I'm doing right now, I'm flipping the switch so I cannot deal with this negative person.